In my last lecture, I quoted a young Jewish sage named Ben Zoma. But who is he? Today, we're going to step into his world to understand the man, his wisdom, and the times he lived in. Simon ben Zoma, remembered simply as Ben Zoma, lived in Judea around the late 1st to early 2nd century CE. He wasn't a king or a warrior, but a philosopher, a voice of wisdom in a time of empire and upheaval. He is remembered for one of the most famous sayings in Jewish history: "Who is wise? He who learns from every person." To Ben Zoma, wisdom wasn't about pride, titles, or status. Wisdom was humility, the ability to learn from anyone, anywhere. But Ben Zoma didn't live in easy times. Judea was under the control of the Roman Empire. Emperors like Domitian, Trajan, and Trajan shaped the world he knew. The Second Temple in Jerusalem had just been destroyed a generation earlier. His people were still mourning, still rebuilding their faith after that loss. So while Rome boasted of power and glory, men like Ben Zoma turned inward, seeking wisdom, faith, and survival. In Judea, the sword could no longer protect the people. What remained was the scroll. Ben Zoma became one of the sages of the Mishnah, men who preserved memory, law, and teachings in the shadows of Rome. Meanwhile, across the Red Sea and down the Nile, Africa was rising in power. In Kush, in modern-day Sudan, queens called Kandake ruled mighty kingdoms. One of their officials even appeared in the Bible, in the books of Acts, speaking with the Apostle Philip. And even further east, the kingdom of Axum was beginning its climb to greatness. A trading empire in Ethiopia and Eritrea, destined to become one of the first Christian nations centuries later. So while Ben Zoma studied scrolls in Judea, African kings and queens were shaping history in their own right. Christianity was just beginning to spread, not through kings or queens yet, but through bishops, apostles, and martyrs. Leaders like Ignatius of Antioch and Polycarp of Smyrna carried the message forward. In Alexander, Egypt, Christianity was also taking root alongside Jewish and Greek philosophy. Islam would not appear for another 500 years, but Arabia was already a crossroads of trades and ideas, preparing the groundwork for what would one day become a global. Though he died young, Ben Zoma's voice still echoes in a world of emperors and revolts, African queens and rising faiths. He left us with words that cut across time. Who is wise? He who learns from every person. That's why when I talk about purpose and desire, I bring his words into the conversation. Because wisdom doesn't die, wisdom multiplies.